Hey, how is everyone? Today we are doing Wellness Wednesday on Thursday because yesterday I got busy with a couple of clients that needed some extra attention, and so that took precedent over Wellness Wednesday. But I wanted to bring you the information anyways because it's super duper important. If you are catching this on the replay, or if you want to keep this in your video archives, make sure you share it. It'll live in your video archives forever, and that way you don't have to dive through everything if you want to, in my video archives, if you want to figure out what is it that she said about mindful eating today. And so mindful eating is part of my theory on body wisdom, and it's something that I teach my clients, and it's something that I share with you guys often. And basically it's that our bodies know when and what we're supposed to eat if we just tune in and listen. Now, sometimes we need help. Sometimes we need a guiding principle or some lab work to let us know exactly where we've gone off track. But a part of that body wisdom is something called mindful eating. And mindful eating happens when you are fully present with what you're putting in your mouth, okay, with what you're fueling your body with. An example of not eating mindfully would be housing an entire pile of cheese fries without even being hungry or without a second thought of when you were full. And so I want to talk to you about one of the main principles of mindful eating today. Actually, I'll talk about two. One I'll just touch on. One is how to know if you're eating mindfully. And so when you're mindful eating, you're focused on what you're eating. You're really enjoying and savoring the tastes, the textures, the flavors, the smells. Those are all ways that you are being mindful in what you consume. The second part of eating mindfully is to know why you're eating. So you're eating because you're hungry, or are you eating because you're sad or happy or celebrating or mad or tired? Those are all part of, and it's not, mindful eating is not, it's not that it's not eating when you're any of those things, but it's recognizing when that's happening, when you're eating for fuel versus when you're eating to fill a different void. One of the best techniques for that, and it takes a little bit of practice to work out, is to eat on a 0 to 10 scale. And, this isn't something you have to take notes for. I'm not a big fan of tracking your macros unless it's for a very short period of time or doing any of those things. So this is something that you just practice a little bit, and it becomes part of the way you consume food. It becomes part of who you are. And so that bit of mindful eating, like I said, it's on a 0 to 10 scale. 0 is you are starving to death. Like you would eat the business end of a rhinoceros, you are starving. 10, on the other hand, is, and I'll use Thanksgiving as a reference because we just had it, is your Thanksgiving full, right? Like you're so stuffed, you wish you had your elastic pants on, and or maybe you didn't have pants on at all, that you unbutton your jeans, like you're just uncomfortably full, okay? So again, 0, starving to death, 10, uncomfortably full, okay? Now the way this works is that you are never going to eat until you are an 8, 9, or 10. That's what you really, really, really want to avoid. And you don't want to eat unless your hunger level is at a 2 or a 3. So it's okay, and a lot of people struggle with this, but it's really okay to be hungry. It's okay to be hungry for food. And most of us, I would wager that most people that are watching this now have access to food within 5 minutes of wherever you are. So a lot of people think, well, gosh, if I don't eat enough to get me, at breakfast to get me through till noon or 2 or 3 in the afternoon, then I might not get anything else to eat. I promise you will. Same for lunch. So if you wake up in the morning and you're not hungry, breakfast is not the most important meal of the day. If you wake up and your hunger level is at a 0 to 3 or a 2, 3, or a 4, by all means, have some breakfast. But here's the caveat. I want you to make good choices on what you eat, obviously. But no matter what you eat, the very most important thing you can do is listen to your body wisdom. And when you are not hungry anymore, stop. So not when you're full, but when you eat to the point where you're not hungry anymore, you stop. And that involves being really present, really savoring all the tastes, textures, smells, flavors, everything that you're eating so that you're fully present with what you're eating, with your body. It means that you're not flipping through Facebook. Even if you're watching me, you're not flipping through Facebook. You're not watching, somebody's calling me. Hopefully that didn't interrupt. But it means you're not flipping through Facebook. You're not watching the news. You're not reading a book. You can have some conversation. But even if you're having conversation, I want you to go inside and check in every few bites, set the fork down, if you're eating finger foods, stop and chat for a minute and allow time for that satisfied hormone cascade to happen in your body and trigger that sense of satisfaction, that sense of I'm done. And that is probably the biggest change, the biggest shift that you can make in your everyday eating that you can do on your own without my help, without anyone telling you, which nutrients you need and what you should and shouldn't eat and what's best for you to eat and what's not. That's probably the number one way to get on the right track of, more wellness, better health, losing weight, all of those things. Especially when you get started, it can feel like a lot to, have to reduce the amount and the time that you eat and the places that you eat and the types of food that you eat. And it can feel like it's just a big reduction. Mindful eating, Body Wisdom gives you the ability to know that you are fueling your body in the right way, to know that it's okay to be hungry, to recognize the things that maybe you're hungry for other than fuel for your body. And so you can address and deal with those avenues as well. And so hopefully that's given you some ideas. Again, those are two really specific strategies to begin mindful eating. And Body Wisdom is a larger program than just two strategies, but those are probably the most two important ones to get under your belt, no pun intended. And it's a little bit after 2, so I'm going to go now. But if you have any questions, please post them below. Again, if you want to save this for your reference, make sure you share it to your page. And thanks for listening. See you actually tomorrow. We're going to do Fitness Friday tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about something that a lot of you may be excited about. It's a new program called Yoga for Weight Loss. And we're going to talk about, how to use yoga in a way that suits every body, every human suit to lose weight. And we're going to sort of combine what we talked about last week on Fitness Friday, which was high intensity interval training and how you can use yoga to do that. So I hope to see you there. I think it's at 12 noon Central, but the pinned post at the top of the page will certainly tell you. See you then. Bye.